Cutting of concrete pipes with a quick cut saw is an activity that we regularly do in the Fulton Hogan business. If something goes wrong while cutting the pipe, there's a potential for a serious injury to occur. This video discusses how a subcontractor working on the Fulton Hogan Foxground Berry bypass project suffered a deep laceration to his chest when the quick saw kicked back. The injury was painful and it was very graphic, but it could have been so much worse, and it was totally avoidable. In this video we'll show you two options that are recommended to safely cut concrete pipes. If you're required to cut a concrete pipe, please ensure you always do the task either with a cradle or by supporting the pipe. Remember, before you cut concrete pipes or before you do any tasks, ask yourself the stay safe questions. What am I doing? What can go wrong? How can I do it safer? Thank you and stay safe.
On the day of the incident, we had a worker engaged by a contractor on the site cutting 450mm pipes for drainage work to be undertaken on the project. During the process, they chose not to use a cradle scenario.
On the morning of the incident, we'd set up for the day, and myself and another crew member, Kyle, had set up some pipe, a length of pipe to be cut for a rocker to start the line for the day. Once we'd marked up the cut to be cut, we ensured we had the correct PPE and went about cutting the pipe. Once I noticed that the saw had started cutting off on an angle, I went to pull the saw back out of the cut to straighten the cut up when the pipes jammed the blade of the saw, forcing the saw back at myself and cutting myself across the chest.
As a result of the impact from the saw with the worker's chest, he received a laceration in a downward fashion down through the left side of the chest, approximately 300mm in length.
I've had saws kick back, but not in such a force in what it did on the day. It was quite a force that, I basically lost grip of it.
It was identified that there's an essential need to be able to support the pipe during the cutting process to ensure that we have a level platform for the pipe to be worked on and to prevent any opportunity for the pipe to close.
I do find myself, as a result of the incident, definitely being more cautious now. And checking things more than once, taking that extra time to step back and assess the risks.
There's been a serious impact across the workforce because the project itself has been virtually harm-free.
Just to take a step back and take the time to assess the risks and things that can happen, because we do get a bit complacent in our day-to-day work and we do get comfortable in the things that we do, necessarily there's things that we do on a day-to-day basis that we don't think that anything can go wrong, but a simple slip up can result in something going terribly wrong.
Alright guys, so we're just going to go through a pre-start today of cutting concrete pipe. We're just going to ask ourselves the stay safe questions. So it's first one is, what am I doing? The second one is, what can go wrong? And the third one is, how can I do it safer?
Prior to commencing any cutting work, ensure a SWIMS has been developed and is understood by all those performing the work.
Yeah, good tummy, yeah.
Ensure you identify a suitable location to place the cradle in, clear of any obstructions and on level, stable ground. Establish a 5-metre exclusion zone around the activity. Rotate the pipe to establish contact between the rollers and the outer wall of the pipe. Mark the pipe for cutting length and ensure the joint to be cut is supported either side. Start the saw on the ground and verify that the blade is free from deflection and excessive vibration. Raise the quick cut saw to the top of the marked reinforced concrete pipe and score approximately 5 to 10mm deep initially in a downward direction towards the operator, stopping at knee height. Ensure not to overreach when cutting is being done at shoulder height. Reposition the saw to the top of the pipe and commence the plunge cut, and continue the task to the end of the scored joint cut line. At the end, allow the blade to stop rotating prior to removing it from the cut joint to avoid it kicking back. Reposition the concrete pipe within the cradle after rotating it away from the operator until the base of the previous plunge cut is now located at the top of the pipe. Prior to completing the final cut in the pipe, insert a timber wedge in the open cut section of the pipe to prevent the pipe cut closing onto the saw blade, causing a kickback risk. On completion of the final cut, remove the timber wedge from the cut and rotate the pipe sections to confirm the completion of the cut. Alternatively, when not using a cradle, it is important to establish a level support base using a minimum of 4 lengths of timber of equal thickness to support the pipe during the cutting and rotation process. Once the pipe has been relocated to the next location, re-secure the support objects on the operator side to ensure that the pipe cannot rotate back towards the operator and the pipe is stable. All quick cut saw cutting processes outlined when using a cradle must also be used when cutting pipes on timber supports.